Cool.
Hi, I think we're live.
That's awesome.
Hi, everybody.
Hello. Let's see. Do we have?
Just giving it a little minute to see if anyone joins us. I don't know how to invite people, but I know you can. So.
Oh, look, it says right here, invite friends.
Oh, cool.
Let's see. Who do I want to invite? Hey, there's somebody there. Cool. We're gonna invite Chris. Who else said was gonna be here?
Nikila said she was coming, but I don't know if I can invite friends on mine because it's.
Because it's on your.
Yeah.
Cool. What's your friend's name?
Nikila.
Nikila. And A. There she is.
Cool.
And then I'll do AJS too. Cool. We have 2 people looking at us. Awesome.
Hi.
Hello. How do you see who that is? This is my first time doing this live, so.
Yeah. So comment. Make sure to comment. Looks like someone left.
Uh-oh. Oh, look. Stephen Young is here. Hello, Stephen. Yay.
Cool. So, I mean, we have one person, but we could probably get started just because people will watch the replay, right? So,
I don't know.
Yeah.
They can, I guess.
Yeah.
Cool. So, let's just wait like 2 more minutes or so. Is
2
that
more
okay?
minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe 30 seconds.
Okay, 30 seconds.
We don't want to keep Steven
waiting. Oh, look, my aunt is there. Hi, Tia. That's awesome.
So we both have our Facebook Lives on.
Yeah, so we're looking at 2 screens at the same time.
So we're going to our eyes will be back and forth. Most people are joining on Monica's, so we can mainly focus this way right now. But yeah, so those of you who are watching the replay, I'm Danielle Holman, as you know, photographer, wedding photographer, portrait, and family photographer here in Sedona, Arizona. And this is
Monica Duarte, and I am a brand alchemist and also spiritual coach.
Yep.
And we wanted to make a video because I've been working with Danielle for the past few months with her brand, with relaunching her brand. Mm-hmm. And we've been kind of using a different technique that's a bit different from what most people know. We've been using a system called Archetypes. So we wanted to talk more about, share our process and talk about this new idea of using archetypes. But before we go into that, I just wanted to share a little bit about my journey and how I ended up doing this, because I'm a creative artist. I've been doing this for a long time. So who are you saying hi to?
Someone came on. Hi.
Cool. Yeah, so I'm a creative artist at heart. I've always been into creativity and art, but my soul has always been attracted to spirituality and wanting to know more about how people work and why are we here, that kind of stuff. So I've always struggled with the idea of should I go into the creative field, or should I do spiritual stuff? And I've been through 2 near-death experiences, and that kind of pushed me, it kind of kicked me in the butt to really push myself on my spiritual path. And so one day I just kind of decided that why am I dividing these 2 things? Why can't I combine them? So I decided to do that, and I'm a strong believer in synchronicities and prayers, so I put a prayer out, and this book came into my life called The Hero and the Outlaw, and basically it talked about the idea of using archetypes for branding. And what was I going to say? Just whoop.
No, that's okay. I was just thinking, for people who are just joining in again, do you want to say your title?
Yeah.
What is your title again? I always forget what your
brand alchemist.
Brand alchemist. This is Monica. She's a brand alchemist.
Yes.
So she was just talking about how her story and how it related to what she does.
Yeah. Yeah. So when I was going through school to working on my master's in divinity, I actually had studied archetypes for a little bit, but I never really knew that you could apply it to branding. And basically, just to go briefly talk about archetypes. Archetypes is basically a divination system that was created by Carl Jung who is a Swiss psychiatrist, or was a Swiss psychiatrist because he passed on a long time ago. And basically the idea is that the idea with archetypes is that they're patterns that repeat throughout history. And you can see them in art, you can see them in history and literature. So basically everything is an archetype in our world. And these archetypes live in our unconscious mind. So we don't know that they're playing out. We don't know that they're living through us, but they're there, and that's how we actually connect with people. So an example of some of the archetypes are like the lover archetype, the creator archetype, the magician, the creator, I already said that one.
And you can have a mix of archetypes, just so you guys know. It's usually, you don't just have one.
No, you have actually a lot, but you do have a few that stay pretty constant in your life, and they kind of guide you in your life. But some of them kind of come and go based on what you're going through in your life. And one of the ways that you can use this for branding is if you know what your archetypes are, you can really like know yourself from a deeper level, but also be able to connect with your audience on that deeper level, because we all have these archetypes no matter what. The only thing is that you need to know what archetypes your ideal audience has so that you can connect with them on that level. So like if, for example, like if I had the magician archetype, I would want to, connect with people that have the magician archetype or have an emerging magician archetype. And then that way you resonate with them on a deeper level.
And since I'm here, I'll give an example of mine. My top archetype came out to be the lovers. And I happen to be a wedding photographer, so that's very fitting. But there's all sorts of wedding photographers out there. There's all sorts of trends. But based on my archetype being the lover, that means I'm going to attract other lovers, so other people who want to be well taken care of, and that kind of thing. So just wanted to give another example.
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically the whole experience of working with Danielle has been really awesome. It's been really cool to like actually apply archetypes and use it for branding and actually have somebody to,
you did this for yourself too, though,
and
right?
I did it I first did it for myself. Like I literally have been the last year like learning everything I can about archetypes and how to apply them into branding. And then when I was ready, like I did it for myself, and then I've been working with her to apply the system that I created with her. So it's been really cool because in the beginning when we first met, like she had all these ideas of where she wanted to go with her brand. So basically by using archetypes, it really helped us to really create something really solid and clear.
Yeah, and so I just want to insert that when I found Monica, I had already been putting it out there that I needed somebody to help me with design. I needed somebody to help me with branding. Not that I didn't know kind of how I wanted my brand to be, but it was just that I knew I needed help. I already have photo shoots. I already have editing. I already have so much on my plate, but branding was one thing I knew I needed someone to give me a little nudge to improve so I could rebrand and become a stronger brand, a more competitive brand, and something that's like kind of sparkly and shiny that someone's like, ooh, I definitely want to go with her, that kind of thing. So I knew I needed someone to help me push me to the next level. And I had just like been putting it out there, and then I found Monica, and we kind of connected on a spiritual level and on a creative level, artistic level, and everything that she had to offer sounded really fun, and it was really fun creating this stronger brand that I made. For those of you who are just joining in, I'm a photographer, and she's a brand alchemist.
You got it, yay!
So yeah, basically I felt like I knew what I wanted, but it was chaos. I had all these different ideas. I have all these different aspects of myself that I wanted to incorporate it, and she helped me figure out how to become crystal clear about not only my brand, but also the steps that I needed to do and which ones I needed to prioritize.
And it's funny because as you're saying that we connected on a spiritual level, like my archetype, one of my archetypes is the alchemist, which is a spiritual archetype. So the fact that I've been using that archetype and like I just kind of been doing that, and then I connected with you, it's like, yep, it works,
Yeah. Yeah.
I am attracting the people.
Right, yeah. So Monica is going to attract someone who gets it, who is open-minded, who is spiritual. And as the as a lover and a creator, I'm going to attract people who want the warm and fuzzy, beautiful pictures and the creativity. So it's working already.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, so it's been really fun to like go through, because the process of working with me, it's not just where I'm telling you this is what you got to do. Like, it's more interactive. And I actually give you homework. So I gave her lots of homework to do, where she had to actually go, inside to gain guidance to help her connect with these archetypes and help them bring them out.
Yeah.
So it was really fun to really see,
Yeah.
I mean,
and also I am a really good student. I was like the student who was maybe not the best test taker, but I was that nitty gritty student who would like stay up all night getting assignments done and turn them in early and stuff. So if you're a student, like this system worked really well because she's giving you tons of assignments and you're just like pouring out your soul and information. And then she goes over it with you. And basically, after you pour out your soul and all this information, she picks apart the parts that can work for your brand and yourself. So it's really cool. And it made my experience really fun and really easy.
Yeah. And that's where the whole, like, I've been on my spiritual path for 8 years, and I'm glad I did that, because that's where I'm able to like kind of see how things go together.
Yeah, she's the wise one.
I don't know about that. I try to learn. Yeah, so I just wanted to go over really quick. One of the things that, at least with the package that we have or that we worked with, I designed a brand book for her, and it basically is it basically has everything we did together, like all the information that we gathered, but it also goes deeper into like the actual design, where we look at colors, we look at fonts, we look at images, and then we even look at brand style, which is basically, fashion. Like what would your archetype dress like if it were like, here, like if
Yeah, and that was an area I was actually struggling with. I was told her I kind of grew up as a tomboy, and yeah, I had all these sisters who dressed me, but like at the same time, like I didn't know how to dress. Like I kind of knew how to dress for photo shoots and weddings and stuff, but it was kind of all over the place. But now I literally went, after this whole process, I literally went to the store and I was like, oh, well, that color works, that color doesn't. That's my style, that's not. It was just like everything became clear. And she really does create clarity when you're kind of scrambled. Like really helps.
Aw, cool. So yeah, so just wanted to go over, just have to go click here really quick. Where's my...
Oh, and by the way, she's opening up her My Brand book.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we haven't learned how to share screens yet, but it is so beautiful. Like the final products, it's like a digital thing. I want to get it printed, but it's just gorgeous what she does. I'm sorry you guys can't see it.
Yeah, I kind of like researched doing the whole sharing screen, but I've heard people like it shuts off afterwards. You can't go back to seeing your face again. So yeah, I didn't want to like do that and like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And for people who are watching, if you have any suggestions on sharing your screen, like programs that you've used that's worked really well, let us know, because I'm pretty sure I want to go live a lot more often, and I think Monica will too, because her branding or her alchemy is super unique, but it really helps, I think, for people to hear about it.
Cool.
Because it's so complex.
But it makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, so some of the things that we gathered, or points that we were able to gain with working together and with creating her brand, we were able to figure out what her brand soul archetypes were, which basically are the creator and the lover. We were able to discover the magic and spells that her archetypes have, the magic being the gifts and the spells being the shadows, because all archetypes have positive sides and negative sides to them. And it's good to know when you're playing out the negative sides that you can kind of push yourself back to the positive.
And here we go. Here's an example. I told you I had ideas, but it was like chaos. That's a creator.
Yeah, that's the creator shadow. Where you're like,
that's a creator shadow. And she helped like manage the chaos for me.
Yeah, the creator, and I have the creator too, so I resonate with this.
Mm-hmm.
But the creator that's the creator shadow, in the sense where like you have so many projects going on that you feel so overwhelmed that you just don't do anything. Eventually, you're just like, I'm just gonna go do something else now because this is really overwhelming.
Yes, and I'm sure some of you feel like that too. And seriously, if you're working on your brand, if you're like, oh God, this program's amazing.
Yeah, and one of the positive things, and this is being a creator myself, with the gifts, is that one of the gifts that the creator has is being able to create structure and transform chaos into structure. So because that's what artists do. They have, you know, these crazy ideas and then they manifest them into something that makes sense to people. So that's one of the awesome gifts, and that she does too with her in her own way.
Yeah, with photography.
Yeah. And then the other thing that we came up, we discovered were her core inner compass, which are basically the values based on her archetypes. And these are the values that she's also applied to her brand. And eventually we'll give you guys her website link. You can find those in there as well. And then we went through her hero's journey. So basically understanding what her journey has been with these archetypes and how to manifest that on for her brand, and we call that the brand metaphor. And then after that, we went into the brand aspects. Basically, everybody, even though like her and I have we have the creator archetypes. They manifest themselves in different ways. There's different aspects to them that for me they're manifesting compared to her. So basically, we discovered what your aspects are, and we use that for your brand, so that you have this unique, you know, side, or like something like a unique side of how you're expressing yourself and putting yourself out in the world. And basically, it makes the competition irrelevant.
Right, and it might sound really complicated, but she makes it very easy. Again, she gives you tons of prompts and then does all the work for you.
Yes. I just need the information, and then I can, okay, this goes here, that goes here.
Yes, it's really cool.
And then we did the same thing with her product and services. So for example, like with her, like what would a creator lover product look like? So we had to go into that and, you know, kind of tweak that a little bit. And then we went into the brand motto, which is basically her tagline. And her tagline is?
Creating beauty from the inside out.
Capturing beauty from the inside out.
Yes. Well, I said creating, but
it's captured. I know
it.
And then we discovered her archetypal customer avatar, which is basically her ideal audience, and really digging into that and doing a bit of research on that. And then we came up with a word vault based on her archetypes. So basically, these are the words that you're going to sprinkle throughout your copy, throughout everything, the way that you talk. And then the brand manifestation was the mood board. We created this really awesome mood board together. And we were able to figure out her colors from there, her brand fonts, her textures and images. Again, all based on the archetypes.
And I can actually post later on a mood board, my mood board picture in the comments, so that you guys can see what that looks like.
Yay!
And I just want to insert, like, she has all these different steps, but way back at the hero's journey, I just want to talk about that a little bit. So when I went through my hero's journey, you talk about your life, you talk about your life stories, and this is all written, and then she reads it and takes it apart. One of those, and a lot of the things that she goes over, you know these things about yourself, you just haven't applied them to your business. For example, a part of my hero's journey was that I figured out that women in my life were really important. I grew up with 3 older sisters. I grew up with a ton of girlfriends that were super supportive and strong and charismatic, and we all got along and we all built each other up, which is kind of rare. But when I think about that, and I look at actually my ideal client tends to be brides. It tends to be women entrepreneurs who want pictures of themselves for their brand. And that became, I mean, I was already doing it, but it became so much clearer through this process that, oh, now I even have a more of a target audience. Yes, which I think she's going to go into.
Yeah, next. And it's cool because part of the hero's journey that we figured out for you too was like, Danielle has a really strong warrior, like really strong.
Yeah.
So her.
I'm fiery. I will get shit done if I know how to do it. If it's clear.
And if you don't, you figure it out.
Yeah. I find a way.
Yeah. So she came into the world with this really strong warrior archetype, and her development or her hero's journey was being able to bring in this like lover, which is the goddess, which is the softer side, and being able to balance that. And like learning that through my 3 older sisters and my friends, and like part of the whole, we talked about like me learning how to style myself. Like I was such a little warrior and tomboy that I just wore t-shirts like all the way up through high school. And then
by college, I'm like, well, maybe I should wear something nicer. Like, but I didn't know what. And then, like, you know, my sisters helped me out. They dressed me up and stuff. But now, with this whole branding thing, I feel like I got it. Monica helped me on so many different levels. It's not like she held my hand and went shopping with me.
No, I didn't do any of that.
She just made it very clear, like, oh, those are the colors I need to wear. Oh, like, oh yeah, you're right. That's kind of like my style. Like, that's my archetype. And it made it so much easier.
Yeah, and the other cool thing is, like, she discovered that she was really into the ocean. Yeah. And the ocean is a lover, like, image.
Yeah. And for those of you who are
so like, hello, that makes sense. And even her brand logo is like the colors are like ocean colors.
Yeah, so these are kind of my colors. The picture behind me that way. Yeah. And yeah, I'm in the desert, but why not bring some aspects of the ocean into my brand? Yes, then I can start photographing weddings in California and like places around the world. So
yes.
Those of you who love astrology, I'm a Pisces. So yeah, learning.
She's a fish.
I'm a fish. So learning these things about yourself, she really helps to bring it out and like shows you how you can weave it into your brand.
Yes, and it's been really fun, like, because now we're at the process where so we go through this whole discovery process, inner discovery process, and then after that we create, you know, we figure out the images, the colors, the fonts, all that kind of stuff. And then the next step is to actually apply it. So we've been working the past few weeks where I've been consulting her on how to apply this to her website. So I'm going to put a link here really quick, and if you want to put it on yours too. This is Danielle's website, and we suggest that you look at it through your computer if possible, because she's still kind of tweaking some things on the mobile site. But you can kind of see, like, on her website, if you click on the link that I just posted down there. I wish I had it before and after, because it's really like changed a lot. But basically, yeah, like we were able to figure out her fonts. Her brand colors are like a rosy pink and kind of like a turquoise blue. She also has this really pretty like gray color. She has a lot of white space. The white space is to kind of bring this kind of light energy into
it's like an elegant
her brand
feel. Yeah.
Yeah, but then the gray kind of helps to kind of modernize it or create an elegant feel, and then the pink is more, you know, like lover, and the blue is more creator.
And one thing I really want to comment on is that, I mean, you guys heard a little bit, if you've been on, you heard a little bit about my journey from being like a tomboy who never wore pink to being a wedding photographer. I would have never chosen pink. But it makes sense. Like, actually, I am really feminine, and what I do is like I bring out the feminine when I photograph. So the pink makes a lot of sense for my style of photography for what I do. I was always attracted to succulents and bouquets that had pink flowers and succulents and stuff like that. So succulents is a thing you'll see a lot that we kind of discovered was a thing for me in the ocean and stuff like that. So I would say, like, if you think to yourself, like, oh, I already know my colors. You guys, I thought I knew my colors. I really did, and I didn't. and like, here's the thing. There's a lot of things you think you know about your brand, but once you do this process, she helps bring out, like, the truth. Like what actually makes sense for your brand.
Yes, and it feels right too. It's not like you're feeling fake or anything.
So much better. I never had anything against the color pink. I just never would have thought to bring it into my brand. And she actually, you know how there's like a million different colors of pink? Like, she helped pick the color pink for me and showed me like why it fits in my brand, and I was sold. I was like,
yay! Yeah, I really didn't have to like talk too much about it. She's like,
no, it was good. Oh, and so my fiance just got here, so we're on live. If you want to say
hi,
we're on live on Facebook.
Hey everyone.
So actually, that's Calio. He's my second shooter. So
he's awesome too,
and also does a lot of the business stuff. In fact, we spent together all day yesterday working on the website after Monica had given me feedback on it.
Yes. So yeah, so it's been a really fun process, and I want to talk more about like her website here a little bit. So one of the things about that makes Danielle really unique is her ability to be able to be really versatile with working with people and what they're trying to capture. But again, her tagline is capturing beauty from within. So she's really good at doing that. And I actually had a session with her, so I know this. She helps you feel like a goddess. She helps you feel really relaxed. She helps you feel like you're the center of the world. So that's the kind of feeling we were trying to capture on her, and with her website and moving forward with everything. And just her images, she has a lot of really beautiful images that have a lot of blues in them. They have a lot of white. It's very light.
Yes.
I don't know how else to explain it. It's
very happy.
It's happy.
You know how
peaceful.
there is a trend right now, where you desaturate the greens and you make it dark, and I don't know. My style is light and happy and colorful, just like I am.
But it's almost like an angelic type, energy. Yeah. It's almost, and that's totally the lover, this really angelic, or just really light feeling. I don't know how to explain it.
Yes. And I'm also a yoga instructor, so
she is. Yeah, so it was really cool.
Bringing that into it too.
And then let's see. So some of the words that we came up with, if you look at her tabs, it has love notes. That's a new tab.
Yes.
That we came up with, and that's totally the lover archetype. And then our stories. Also, another thing about her brand is that as a lover, it's not just about passion. It's about family as well. So that's something we wanted to capture, and that's our story feels really homey.
Yes.
So yeah, it's just been a really fun journey working with her, and we're still kind of tweaking some things here and there. But
I mean, it's a work in progress.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still working on this site. I'm still working on, for example, if you go to our story, I'm going to spend some time writing about me and Calio and our love story. He's my fiance, so obviously we're getting married. We've been together for 6 or 7 years, and now he's working with me, which is a dream come true. Something I want to manifest was working with the person that I love. Total lover archetype. So it really is coming through my brand very strongly. And this whole journey has been really amazing, and it's still going on.
Yeah.
What I have to say is even though you're using, she's guiding you through these certain steps and stuff, she goes above and beyond that. She usually spends hours of her time meeting with you, making sure you understand everything, and making sure that you feel really happy with the results and stuff like that. After we went through the whole process, she does delegate certain hours where you can choose what you want to work on. And I also want to really emphasize that is she's been really flexible. So if I feel I have something down, for example, if you're I do have my brand colors down or whatever, she probably wouldn't focus on that. She'd probably focus on something else. She really listens to your needs and understands it, and then helps you focus on that. I needed help with my website, and that's why we're talking about it a lot.
Yeah, we discussed working on logos, but we just didn't have enough time with that. But the website was priority.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been cool. And I remember one of the times where I think it was with the hero's journey, and I asked you to write down your life.
Yes.
And she was like, this doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, don't worry, I will at the end. Just do it right now. And then she did it, and I put everything together. She's like, whoa.
Yeah,
that makes
really
sense.
Cool. It's really cool to see how everything comes together.
Yeah, so it's trusting the process, too. And trusting we're going inside your unconscious, your soul.
We're working from the inside out. Which is funny, because I'm also capturing beauty from the inside out. So we're we're so dorks. Are you kidding me right now?
We're creators. We can be dorks.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
So thanks. I don't know. Do you have anything else?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you want to talk more about your process or your experience, doing this, or if you want to just keep it open to questions if anybody else has questions about it, or.
Yeah, I mean, we're both going to be checking our live videos. So if you have questions and you're not watching this live, feel free to leave comments so that Monica and I can respond later on and give you, for example, put links to how to contact her. Maybe you want to talk about how to contact you right now, and then put it in the comments.
I can give you my email address. I'm still working on my website. It's probably not going to be up for another month or two because I've been really busy. But yeah, I mean, the whole purpose of this was just to kind of just share, really, honestly.
Yeah.
It was.
But yeah, I mean, if you have, I was gonna say, if you have questions, we can answer them later. Like, you can put them in the comments and we'll answer them, even if you're not watching this live.
Yes.
Cool. Sweet. I feel good.
Yeah, me too. So is there any questions anybody has, or should we just finish this up? If you have questions, please put them on.
And one more time, I am a wedding portrait and family photographer here in Sedona, Arizona.
My uncle is saying, hi, Monica. Say hi to the blondie.
I am the blonde lover archetype.
Yes.
From Sedona, Arizona. And I do branding photography. I do families, children, newborns, lots of weddings, elopements, engagements. Pretty much anything to do with people or things that I love, like nature, I photograph. So feel free to reach out.
Yeah.
You can reach me. I have a few different ways. You can go to my website. We put the link in it. And you can do contact and fill out your contact information. You can also just email DanielleHolmanWedding@gmail.com. Let's see how else. I have an Instagram you can follow. It's Danielle Holman Wedding. And I have a Facebook you can follow, which I'm on my Facebook Live right now. But for you guys, just so you know, please go on to Danielle Holman Photography, give me a like, follow me. And I really appreciate you all being here to take the time to watch this video and listen to us.
Yeah, and the way you can contact me is my email is monica@monicaoduarte.com.
Yeah.
I'll put it in there.
Yeah.
So if you have any questions, or if you're just curious about, learning about archetypes and branding and that kind of stuff, feel free to send me an email.
Have Danielle just came on. She said, what's the subject? So
yes, Danielle.
We are just talking about archetypes and how Monica has helped me from the inside out build my brand based on archetypes.
Yes, and so I would suggest to watch the video.
So watch the replay. We love you. And sorry if we were talkative.
We talk a lot. But, you should see us when we're actually on the creative mode.
I know.
We literally interrupt each other.
Yeah, we're just like.
It's like, who cares? We get each other.
Yeah, I know. So you guys, thank you again for being here.
Thank you so much, guys. Have an awesome day.
Have a good one.
Bye. Bye.